We've been drafting in 2D views for quite some time. Let's take it to the next step. Let's go three-dimensional. Here we go. I'm going to use this nesting box project as an example of how to take a two-dimensional piece and turn it into a three-dimensional piece to kind of, help you see things a little bit better. So here I've got a bottom of a nesting box, and you can see from the top view and from the front view and from the side view, it's got a little bit of a shape to it. But can we draft it in a way to give it more of a shape to help tell the story? This one's not so bad, but when I look here at the front piece of this nesting box, this is what it's going to look like from the front, and I've got a hidden line there, and my top view, that looks kind of funky. My side view looks kind of funky. I had to actually create a backside of the front of the birdhouse, the nesting box, to show what are called dado cuts. But even so, this just looks really confusing. Is there a way that we can draw it and make it better so that we can communicate our ideas? And we can, and we're going to do that through three-dimensional drawing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this drawing right here, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it. And we'll go ahead, I'll just stick it up here, and I'll take this drawing, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it, and I will throw it up here. Okay. Before we go into three-dimensional view, I want to just bring a couple things to your attention. So first of all, we've got the view cube up here, and the view cube in two-dimensional drawing, we're looking down from top, and so you can see in the view cube it says that we're on the top view. Now let's go ahead and go into our three-dimensional view. Down here it looks like a little cog wheel, looks like a little gear, and there's a down arrow next to it. So when we click on the down arrow, we're in basic drafting and annotation, which is your two-dimensional drafting. Let's go into 3D modeling. And when we go into 3D modeling, everything's going to change. So I click it into 3D modeling. My ribbon has changed. Now I've got a bunch of commands that have to do with 3D modeling. Now we're still at the top view, but in order to really appreciate this in 3D, we need to change the view on our view cube, and we're going to grab it from what's called the southwest corner. So on the view cube, I'm going to touch the southwest corner. You can see it's highlighted blue, and as soon as I click it, everything kind of changes a little bit. The whole perspective changes because we're getting ready to get into three-dimensional. All right, so let's start with this bottom piece here. Okay, this bottom piece has some height, has some depth, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull this piece up to its proper height. Now, the thickness of that wood is 0.75 inches, or 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and right up here in the ribbon, there's a command that says press pull. So I grab the press pull, and now you see my cursor is in the middle of this box. I'll go ahead and click it, and I start to move it. And you see it's moving up and down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify my height, which is 0.75. And I hit enter. Okay. And the height of that is now 0.75. My outside edge here, that has a height of 0.375. So again, if I hit on the press pull, and I'll click right here and I start to extrude it up, I'm going to go 0.375, and there is my piece. Now, it looks really confusing because the point of view that we're viewing this is what's called a wire frame. Right up here in the center of the ribbon, you can see it says 2D wire frame. If I hit the down arrow, I have all these different things I can select. So let's select shades of gray. And now that piece is a whole lot easier to tell that, you know, this piece has got some shape to it. Let's see what's going to happen when we go to this backside of our front. So I'm going to hit press pull. I select that, and I'll just do it all separately. 0.75. This area, 0.75. And this area right here, 0.75. All right. And then this area right here, we're going to bring this up, and it's going to be 0.375. And now I've got this piece that is my front of my birdhouse. And there's a way that I can manipulate this and move it around. So if I hold in my thumb wheel on my mouse, you know, I can pan left and right. Well, if I hold the shift button and the thumb wheel, well, I can move this thing around all sorts of different views. And you notice that while I'm moving this object, that my view cube in the top right-hand corner is also moving around. So this allows me to make three-dimensional objects, and the original drawing that I had was this two-dimensional drawing right here. And so now when I see this three-dimensional object next to this two-dimensional object, hey, it makes a lot more sense.